Now up to the sun, let's come together. I know. They say you're not there, we stand, if I there, we fall. If we not celebrate, we do it for you. Voila, you forget it. You from Lower County, you from Maryland. Voila, you from Rewa City. I'm a bad way on your trip, I have up on the fine way. Tabila, I love Liberia, oh yeah, yeah. Free land on liberty, Liberia, oh yeah, yeah.
This is exactly how we have decided to serve our country, Liberia, the home where we all belong and we cannot be deported from. So this is our commitment to Liberia. This is how we want to officially welcome you to the program, Open Conversation. Like I always say, that Open Conversation is a program, a 2-hour political program that talks about everything that happens in Liberia and the many progresses and development by our government, the support from the people, the different interactions and political transactions that happen. We talked about them, and we make sure that we inform our people to well behave and not get involved into violence, and make sure that the country is well constructed and we all are moving through to progress. So let me welcome my host, TT. Let me say this is Friday, and good evening.
Everybody loves Friday. Good evening. It's good to be here this evening on Open Conversation. Washington, like I said, everybody loves Friday. But I wanted to ask, in fact, I hear people always say this is the only country I can't be deported from. Who suggested that anybody can be deported from Liberia?
Liberians.
Liberians just suggested that.
Liberians can be deported from here.
But who thought so? And because I keep hearing people say this is the only country I can be deported from. Who would deport you from your Liberia? When you cause problem here, you cause any problem here, the law would take its course. So nobody's going to deport anybody from Liberia. So for me, it doesn't make any sense for people to say this is the only country I can't be deported from.
Most especially Liberia.
Yeah, if you are a Liberian, how do you make such a comment? Again, we just follow the flow. Whenever we hear people say things, we think it sounds so good, so we just continue to say it. But sometimes, we have to, talk about these things that people shouldn't be saying when they are Liberians.
Exactly.
But again, it's good to be here this evening on our Open Conversation. All of you who are joining us via our social media page, we'd like to say welcome to you. Those joining us via radio 99.9 and other frequencies across the country, we'd like to say welcome to Open Conversation. Thank you for making it a date with us this evening. We will start off by even saying to you that we sincerely apologize. Our guest let us down because, she just couldn't make it. She is traveling back home today. She got her travels mixed up. So we will do that next week, God willing, hopefully. So, it's just Washington and I will be here this evening talking about all of the issues that concern Liberia and all of the things that have been happening lately in the country. You don't want to miss that. We will bring them to you, step by step. So let's go. We don't have a guest. We are our own guests. You are our guest this evening. Listening, you will have more time to participate on the program. And so let's roll.
And probably once in a while, we'll keep introducing this kind of style and formula to our listeners. They have to get a little used to it.
Sometimes your guests let you down, and then you have to just do it because you're under obligation to.
And this is the best thing happening on radio at about this time. Let our people know.
They know that's what they're tuning.
Yeah.
So let's get the ball rolling. That before we come to July 26th, all of us are getting in gear now, celebrating. Getting ready for the celebrations of the 26th. Next week, Wednesday is 26th day, and it's a big deal in Liberia. We're celebrating our independence, and this is a time when a lot of people in the country see this day, or even going closer, or during this time of the year, people just feel so, they feel like it's Christmas, or it's a August 24th. Liberians love holidays already. So those of us who are working want to stay home and not work and have jolly go to all of the entertainment centers. You see people there enjoying themselves, even though
Exactly.
people cry and say, oh, the
Exactly.
country is hot, but you would never pass by an entertainment center and don't see people there drinking alcohol and having fun and enjoying themselves. But again, that's who we are. That's what defines us as a nation. But
Socialization is part of life, Titi.
I know we have to socialize, despite, maybe when you socialize, it helps you to forget your worries.
De-stress you.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So, but we know these few days we heard from the World Bank, and the latest reports coming out of the World Bank talked about Liberia's economy being in a more stable state than other countries in the sub-region. I think it's a good thing.
That's a good news.
It's a very good news for us. We complain in this country, and again, people will complain because most times people just want to sit down and manna falls from heaven, which is not going to happen.
again.
It's not happening anywhere in the world. I was listening to the news last evening, and then I heard in Nigeria, the teachers are saying that, you know what, we're not going to teach every day in a week. We're telling the government that because we don't have enough, we're going to teach 2 days a week. Imagine that. Teachers are saying we're going to teach only 2 days a week. If you hear what's happening in other countries because of how bad the economy is, you will bless God that you are a Liberian and you're in Liberia and everything is still on course.
Wow.
That's my point, right? Because the teacher said we will, if the government does not take care of the economy and things are not better for us as teachers, then we better just go to school to teach the students just twice a week. Imagine if your child has to be taught just 2 times a week when we are known to go to school, or our children know that they must go to school Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday.
Even going to school, they have what we call, the vacation school, and teachers have been committed to that.
Forget vacation school, because vacation
That's just a
school
bonus.
we will pay as parents,
It's
right,
just a
for
bonus.
vacation school.
It's just a
That
bonus.
one is just you cannot keep your child at home and you believe that you have the finances, you can send that child to a vacation school, which is obvious. People choose to do that. Some people say, okay, my children have to stay home, let them rest because the whole school is about to open, they will go to school. But if you hear that the Teachers Association in the country are saying that, you know what, we're not going to teach every school day or every weekday, but now we are reverting to teaching 2 times a week, then you know that
It's
something
horrific.
is wrong.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So then when you bring it back home to your country, Liberia, it's happening, that's a demand. They're telling the government that because of the hardship, we can teach our own children.
Exactly. Exactly.
5 days a week, but we want to teach them just 2 times unless you make our lives better.
You see, here is the thing. A lot of people, like you said, in Liberia, those days of manna, those days are all over.
Don't.
Liberians have got used to this tie of, this dependency syndrome, wherein the government has got to do everything for you. You must sit down home, job availability and everything must just be on the table. It doesn't even work like that in great countries around the world. You understand?
The sad thing about it, I was on a bike, when was it, day before yesterday morning, and then this guy who was carrying me said to me that, no job in this country. So I said, okay, no job. You're working, what did you do? What have you learned, to have a job? What did you study? He said, I'm a driver. I said myself, I'm a driver. If all of us are drivers, you think all of us will not fight over the jobs that we have? If we have driving job, right? If we have just only drivers. I say you didn't do any other trade. You didn't go to, because you're a bike rider, you can pack this back. And what started that was, he was saying, hey man, rainy season again. I just wish I was money man. So I just stay home. I will not work throughout the rain.
You see the perception.
Yeah,
you see the perception.
Kind of rainy season, I will just stay home. My home cook pepper soup. I
just
eat it. I said, why will you stay home? Rainy season, you don't eat before you want to stay home because it's raining. He said, well, no job in the country. I said, really? What did you do? You went to school? He said, yes. I said, what you learned to do in school? He said, I learned how to drive. I just got so weak. I was like, oh my God, really? So as I'm a driver, so if you and myself have to fight over the job because, you have to do something that
Exactly.
makes you better, that makes you stand out, then you will have a job. But he said, then you want to put everything on the government. I said, you need to go to trade school. You're still a young man. You can ride your bike. At a certain time, you go to school. And then tomorrow, 3-4 years from now, if you have something to do with your hands, it's going to help you instead of
Exactly.
complaining. Is that
These are reasons why you see TT, a lot of our young brothers and sisters, get themselves involved in these nonsensical protestations all over the country because when you sit down home, you don't take in advice, and more besides, most of them just relinquish themselves to I can say foolishness. This unhealthy environment and conversation, they are not doing anything. You see, these contributing factors, wherein you look at Nigeria currently, where teachers have got to teach 2 days, 2 times in a week. These things,
they're saying that's what they're putting forth to the government.
Exactly.
Teach only 2 days,
2 days in a week.
Mm.
It tells you the constraint to which the economic environment
The economy has
gone
gone bad.
It's
Yeah.
gone bad.
So it's not Liberia.
in Liberia here,
Mhm.
at least we can go to school 5 times a day. Those of
A
us,
week.
5
days a week.
5 days a week. I'm sorry.
We
Those of
haven't
us
reached
in
that.
university, those of us in university can go to school from Mondays all to Saturdays. You understand? We haven't even reached such a level. So some of you who have not gotten an experience of knowing how, other countries and their economy, how they're grappling with it, you just sit down and just castigate the government, just say all kinds of things, how the government is not being functional. If you just have an experience of what is happening in other countries, what they are going through, you will sit
You will
down
appreciate
and
God for-
analyze
yeah.
and know that you have got a personal responsibility to yourself to have your country. It's not what your country can do for you, TT. It's what you can
do for your
implement.
country,
This
right?
is just simple.
Absolutely. So, it's just a caution to the young people,
Mhm.
Nothing good comes easily. That's what people say. And most times you have to struggle, and you have to struggle because you want to survive and you want to be a better person tomorrow. You can't depend on people pocket. If you let's say the person who controls your belly
It controls your mind.
controls your mind.
Exactly.
Somebody can tell you, go and do this, and it's wrong. You don't want to do it, but because you depend on that person
Exactly.
for survivability, you will.
Definitely.
Yeah,
have to do it.
you're doing it. You're not happy about that.
You're
And that is what
unconsciously
causes
doing it.
problem for you. Yeah,
Mm.
because if you know something is wrong and you shouldn't be doing it, and you go and do it, is because the person who has sent you to do that will give you money for doing that. But if you were selling, if you were working, and you were doing anything you're doing honestly, God is gonna bless you, and your life is gonna get better. Rome wasn't built in a daytime.
No.
We always say that. It's just so sad when people just complain and complain and complain and say, I don't have a job. You don't have a job. There are so many things you can do for people who have jobs, and tomorrow your life can be better.
Exactly. See,
Everybody doesn't work for the government.
no,
There is a private sector.
Exactly.
You can work, but people got big hearts in this country, and they see themselves as, I can do certain jobs, even though you don't, you up there, you're not, prepared to do certain job, but you feel that because you're so beautiful or because you're so handsome, you can't do that kind of job. What kind of mentality is that?
you see, when I just graduated from high school, at that time, I told my mother, because I was so passionate about music. So when I just graduated, I told my mother that I wanted to do music. So I got registered to the music school. I started to learn music. I can do music. Honestly, I can do music. After doing the music, I went to the classroom. I started because my late father, he is a proprietor. He has a high school right about now. So he encouraged me at the time, and I went to the university. So TT, if I don't have a job in the media, I have a job in the school. If I don't have a job in the school, I have a job in the music industry. So tell me,
stop
TT,
singing for us.
I'm a good singer anyway.
Okay, well, yeah, we'll know about that.
No, I'm a good
Pretty
singer.
good.
I'm a very
But
good singer.
it's just sad. I just thought to bring that up because most times people complain, and complaining is not going to help us.
No.
It's not going to take us anywhere.
We need to
But
rebrand
again,
our
let's
ideas.
lower the tempo a little bit. If you're out there and you're not doing anything, find something to do. Don't say no job, no job, no
Exactly.
job. That is a flimsy excuse. No job, but you eat,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
No job, but you socialize.
Exactly.
No job, but when you wake up in the morning,
Mm-hmm.
you can talk politics all day. The time you take to discuss politics, you can be selling and somebody can buy something from you and you can make a profit.
The government will
Rome
not do
was
all.
not built in a daytime. All these people you see, even the president, he has a story. So everyone has a story.
Exactly.
You must start from somewhere.
Exactly.
He wasn't born with a silver spoon in his mouth. He suffered, he struggled. God bless him through, sports, and he, came to the limelight.
Yeah, he's a
But-
pedestal now.
Yeah, but he has a story.
Yes,
So
sir.
everybody must have a story. Some people, parents are very rich.
Mhm.
They don't have to suffer. They born them, and those people, they have everything. But it's good to be born to a parent who, doesn't have everything, and you have to go through a lot to become somebody. That way you value the person in you.
Exactly.
But if you were born with silver spoon in your mouth, you don't even know what hard time is. You didn't eat yoka gari. You didn't go to school without, recess.
Mhm.
You didn't walk many hours. I walked many, many hours. I was in Gardnersville and we used to walk all the way to St. John Grammar School. Somebody who
Wow.
knows that school, yeah, we will behind two Safi will walk. My father said we never had a car anyway. So we'll walk to go to school. We walk to come back. The only thing we did, he made sure that we ate breakfast in the morning. That was all. No lunch.
Wow.
You will walk, you go, you walk,
It
you
tells
come.
the story
And
you
when
have.
come back and you don't study. Hey, I'm sorry for
That's
you.
the preparation.
And
to
we're
be.
in beating.
Visually.
Yeah, if you, my brothers and myself, if you didn't know how to spell something, you say, you guys have to study this. If you didn't study, you went to play and you came back, you say, okay, come. By the time he asks you, where is Kavala River located? You don't know it, and I know it. We whip
Oh,
you.
So,
So everybody-
that same thing
Yeah.
happened with my late uncle when he came over to our place. He did the same thing. We used to do the beating spelling. Oh, Titi, we were very bad in that thing.
Oh yeah, you want to study just so you can whip somebody.
Exactly,
Yeah,
exactly.
If you whipped me yesterday, I
And,
would
and,
study.
and
for
Titi,
you
even if you order than me, I'm whipping you. You ain't got any. You ain't got no
no
right.
option,
No
nothing.
option. I
You
gotta
stay
beat
there.
you.
If that 5 latches, we give it, and you put all your strength there and whip that person.
I will beat
good,
you.
Because the next time they'll stand.
I will
But anyway, it
certainly
is what
beat
it
you.
is.
Yeah, it was.
26 cameo, my people. And so the government of Liberia, July 26, like I said,
Even though it's not a good
initially,
one for me, but let's talk about it.
please just let that thing be. You have to celebrate. Whatever happens is in the past. Move on. There is always light
I
at
know.
the end of the tunnel. I know it's hard,
I
but
know.
I always told you, I said I ate my mother with kasali, I ate my father with beans. So it's in the past.
So
You will get over it.
what position am I now?
So your father is dead. So I think you ate him. What soup do you like more?
I like the best soup.
Okay, you ate him with the best soup. No problem. Let's move on.
Okay.
So it's July 26th, around the corner, and when July 26th is around the corner, we have this festivity,
Yeah.
and so the government has started the celebrations of the July 26th official ceremonies leading up to 26th day has started. It started last evening with the Golden Image Award. This Golden Image Award ceremony, Judy Andy is at the center of this. Madam Andy, for 13 years now, since the former president Ellen Johnson Sirleaf time, she's been organizing this Golden Image Award, awarding people for their
tremendous
good
impact.
works in society. And so last night it was a very nice ceremony, and there was the president was there. A lot of people received awards. A lot of young people, a lot of old people, and they unveiled a statue of the president.
Yes.
Although I kept laughing at that. Yeah.
Why you kept the laughter?
But that statue there, I don't know. Do you have this?
What happened to the statue today?
It looked at the president in here old issue.
It didn't actually represent a young president.
And the Judy, just forgive me for this one, but the president was very excited about that.
Yeah,
and he was very excited, and he praised Madam Andy for that.
Yeah.
Image
it was like appreciating Madam Andy, for the kind of.
So I look at the image and I was like, oh, this other image is this is how the president would look when he's
old. And he's not old yet. You already made old statue.
Yes, but that's just the fun of it. But it was really, really an interesting. It looked like him, but I just said
it looks like his future.
Yeah, the president when he's when he's like
maybe 69,
former
70,
Vice President Joseph
70.
Boakai.
Yeah,
then he would look like that. But that was a good one, and at that occasion, His Excellency stressed the importance of the theme of the Golden Image Award, and he says it represents his government's commitment to conducting a free, fair election, and in order for Liberia to be respected in the sub-region as a true democracy. I'm trying to look for the theme is giving hope to our people through peace, non-violence, and credible elections.
Exactly.
So he was just trying to say this team that you were seeing here for this, program, this July 26th, and this Golden Image Award, it's just a testament of what my government is going to do. We are committed to making sure that these elections are free, they're fair, they're transparent,
credible
so
elections.
that our neighbors, partners will understand that we want nothing as a government more than organizing a free, fair, and credible election. And he always says that, and he always remind himself, the government officials, the National Elections Commission, the people of Liberia, that he, as a president of this nation, will not do anything to compromise our elections, but he will stand up and he will make sure that whatever the Liberian people want is what they're going to get. Whoever the Liberian people want is the person who's going to lead this nation. And I think it's very, very important, for us to stress this and understand that this is a man of peace, and this is how he has carried himself, regardless. We've had elections here, and right here in Montserrat County, the Coalition for Democratic Change, the CDC, was beating right here. Everybody said, CDC's stronghold is Montserrat County. If the president was not a peaceful president, he would have, done something to make sure that we maintain that, CDC owns Montserrat, whether by hook or by crook. But he has always carried himself, and he has always said that whatever, I'm not going to do anything against the will of the people. The people will prevail.
Yeah, you see, Titi, the reason why the president has always kept the preaching of, the peace, and every time he went to a program, he always mentioned peace, is because, in the absence of peace, Titi, and I know that in the absence of peace, violence have got the ability to threaten all of these developments going around the country. Certainly, because our people are going to be very, very, very unreasonable. They are going to be destructive, and they just don't know the harm, the gravity of the harm that they are going to cause this country in the absence of peace. So if you are a developing country, you are making all of these traps and ensuring that, these development, human resource capacity development, infrastructure development, and all of these different undertakings by the government is ongoing. You need to ensure that peace is the hallmark. In the absence of peace, you have violence, intolerance, and catastrophe. You are certainly going to, ruin the development that is ongoing. So President Weah does not want, his legacy and these things that he's developing to be destroyed by, the violent oriented people. This is the reason why we have got to keep ourselves in the ambience of peace. This is the reason why we have got to observe the tolerance of these elections. And every time he went somewhere and he said, he gives the people the benefit of the doubt and the credible statement that, yes, indeed, my people, the Liberian people have got an option to make in October of 2023. Whomever you want to make and select as your president, you are free, you are willing, and everybody will respect your decision, whether president, whether senator, whether representative, whomever the Liberian people desire to be their next leader will certainly be. Only because, Wantiti, he does not want this country under his leadership to retrogress, because that sends a negative signal to our international collaborators that it was under George Weah leadership that Liberia retrogressed. That is not a good reflection. So in order to maintain and stabilize, the legacy, you have to be a peaceful preacher.
Okay, a peaceful preacher who the president is. He always tells you that he is a peaceful man and he carries himself like that. And so we like to commend you, Mr. President, for giving us, for sounding that caveat again and telling the world that you indeed, are up for peace and these elections are going to be credible and free and fair. And you're going to be a president who's going to listen to the will of the people.
Exactly.
That is why your people love you, because you are a man of peace. And so the July 26th celebrations in ceremonies started yesterday with the Golden Image Award. This morning, the president was at the Black Jinnah Mosque.
Yes.
In Jacobtown. He went to worship with our Muslim brothers and sisters. And the president was very, very short to his words. He says that he was telling people who think that when you're in a godly setting, you have to say it in a godly way. He says that everybody has a time in this world, and whether we like it or not, that's the reality of life. Time and chance, they say, happen to everyone.
Yeah.
It depends on what you do with that chance that you're given during that time. That is your time.
It is.
And so he says, when your time comes, it's good when it's somebody's time and that person is up there, and that person, all you need to do is to support that person positively, because there is a tomorrow, and when tomorrow comes, you will also want to be supported.
Exactly.
But if you tear people down because in your mind they don't belong up there, when your time comes and you expect that people should support you, that doesn't happen.
It doesn't work. It doesn't work.
Because even the people who you are, who you operate with, understand exactly that you never supported your friends or your friend when he or she was up there. And all you wanted to do was to tear that person down. And in life, it's not a good thing to do. And we all know it, but sometimes, subconsciously we do these things and we say, it's politics. So he was saying that, he was urging all of those who have problems with some aspects of his administration. He was saying to them that they can always come up, bring forth their ideas and share their ideas, and we can work together as a country and make Liberia. Because most times you hear the politicians say, why am I doing this? I'm doing it because I want a better Liberia. But mind you, that person has a sinister motive. It's about their life and about making themselves better. So in a nutshell, he was just trying to say that try hard and build other people, help other people become better citizens, help other people become better, leaders instead of tearing people down only because you assume in your mind that you should be there or Washington should have been there and not Anthony.
Yeah.
Yes, so that is not a way to go. As a leader, he was just cautioning Liberians.
Exactly. Like I was just trying to make an analogy with what you said, Titi. You see, time and chance are very important in every man's life. Titi, today where you are is your time. There were people before Titi, and there will be people after Titi.
Absolutely.
So today is your time. I had my time. I was somewhere once before. Today, here I am. It is my time. So you see, what the president said, it is something that is, it's just the usual thing. If it is my time today, I must support you. If it is your time tomorrow, if it is your time tomorrow, the same thing. And people talked about better Liberia. You cannot get a better Liberia in diversity. We all must learn to be constructive.
All of us are diverse, but constructively we must,
the negative,
support one another as a country.
Very good. The negatives, we may have our different opinions on how to develop the agenda of the country. Yes, we certainly do. Everybody do. It is not everybody who agrees with the ideology of President. We are but
that's why we are democracy. Because
let's be constructive. You understand? Let's be constructive and make sure that even though I disagreed with President Weah, but I should not, defame him and make sure that he comes down. Even though I disagree with the other people on the other side, but we all must be able to bring our collective ideas together and be able to move Liberia. Liberia is the biggest picture here that all of us need to see, Titi. It's very important. So all of these, things the president said.
So he also called for, settlement of the recent maltreatment of some members of the Islamic community who had been exploited through ticket sales when they were destined to go
the
to
Makkah trip.
Yes, to the how they call it,
the Holy Land, the Hajj.
Mecca.
Mecca, yeah.
So he said that government has provided free tickets, and it was wrong for some of their own people to exploit them, and people were in the media and saying that the government had reneged on her responsibility because usually the government provides tickets for these people to go to Mecca, and people were saying all of these stuff that the people had problems and this and that, but the president said today at the Black Jinnah Mosque that the government had provided tickets and some of the people who were responsible to make sure that their colleagues got to Mecca, tried to exploit them. Which was a very wrong thing. And he said that, he proposed the setting up of a group to address their concerns and future arrangements surrounding, other trips to Mecca. So
it's honestly embarrassing. You certainly have people in almost every organization, Titi, that would just want to do the wrong thing.
I know.
Oh yes, they would just want to do the wrong thing. It must just come out with a negative picture.
The money business.
Exactly. Once the money is
go check your house, men eat that money.
You see, there you go, Titi. There you go.
We are very afraid of their name. They don't do that kind of thing.
There you go.
Eating money up. For me,
men are civilized
like
people.
Yeah, right. I didn't say they are not civilized. They're civilized in eating money.
Eat the money.
If we did our own background investigation, trust me, there's also men.
No more me involved in that.
Me, I'm afraid.
No, I beg
don't
you.
Eat money like
don't
that.
indict us like that. I beg you. I beg you on that.
But you will hear the people were talking. They'll say that with that men.
No. Women are part of that thing.
But anyway, at least the president put them on the spot.
Exactly.
And hopefully, next time.
But it's a good one anyway. And I think that the president's intervention will send some kind of relief. And look, Titi, I can imagine when those people who were abandoned and they did not go for the Hajj, right? Look, they were very sad, and they presented that kind of very bad pictures. Look, some people waited for years, Titi, to be able to be on that trip.
They say if you go there, you go to heaven.
No, I can speak to that because I'm not gonna.
Father was a pastor, so I know the pastors know more about all other religions. That's why I asked that
No,
question.
I can speak to that.
Oh,
I have never been a pastor either,
I
even
didn't
though
say you're a
even though I
pastor.
want to, but
Do
no.
you want to be a pastor?
Oh
When you
yeah.
mount the podium, it will not be easy.
Oh, they will be
The
there.
people, the congregation will not even understand what you're saying. I'm
There
telling
you
you.
go.
I'm telling
You
you.
always do it there. Oh, but you see, but it's a good thing, and we must extend, a thanks and appreciation for such a welcoming and a kind of relaxing statement by the president to the people who were affected, being denied by going to Makkah, for the Hajj, but I don't know. They say once a year, right?
They go there once a year.
Yeah. So I think that those tickets can be reserved.
Which tickets?
They
I don't know about that. I don't know about that.
Well,
He said that he proposed
government
that
would
they set
do-
up a committee to address all of those.
the government
problems.
would do something better.
Whatever comes out of there.
Yeah.
I think the message was that the government made available tickets. People were just dishonest, even though we're talking about godless something. Creator. We expect that people who are involved with that will do the right thing because they should be seen as people of God,
fearing God, because they know when you fear God,
yeah, because
you're not
those are
doing
the
wrong
people
things.
who we should follow. Because if
Exactly.
you're a preacher man or you are associated with a preacher man or an imam, then we know that your life, the Bible says,
You're walking
let
right
your
life by
light,
God.
so shine before
Before
men
men.
that they may see your good works and glorify your Father who is in heaven. I'm sure in the Quran they have something similar to that. So that means that if you are a child of God and you are somebody who's telling people to respect God,
Your
and be
lifestyle should
children
be a
of God,
reflection of God.
what you do, whatever you
Exactly.
do should be
Exactly.
a reflection of
Exactly.
God.
Exactly.
But anyway, that is it. So the president also today was at the
And before we go there, are we forgetting something about the July 26th about the Chiefs and Kawa? There you go.
It's the same July 26th. So let's go. Let's go. July 26th. Who is
Look, you see, this is what we call inclusive leadership, right? The chief and elders. This is the first time in Liberia's history that the chiefs and elders of Liberia are going to be mounting the podium to make the oration of the July 26th. This is inclusiveness, and this is making sure that leadership is being brought down to the level. We look forward to the day that this government or the future government will include the young community, the disabled community.
The young community has been, included.
What is his name?
Kaba was once.
What's his name? Malai Sharif.
Yeah, but
Malai Sharif.
Yeah,
he spoke the last time. One of them.
Orators,
so we're looking about the disabled community in the future to come. But it all has got to start from somewhere. So the way the elders have been included, in the first,
now the elders will say the chiefs.
Chiefs.
Yeah, because elderly people have been, been speaking. But when you talk, when
the
you
chiefs,
say the elders,
our country, country people,
yeah, the country people,
they have been included. You see, this is
the chief Zanzakawa is going to speak to us,
as the national orator of July 26. It just speaks to the fact of inclusiveness.
Yeah, and it tells you, like you said, that the president is a man of the people, for the people, and he doesn't leave anyone out. He tries hard to make sure that everyone is, part of the power.
Oh yeah,
everyone feels, connected to this country, regardless of your tradition, regardless
ethnicity,
of
all that.
Whoever you are, you can be a young person, you can be an older person, you can be a chief, you can be a Zor, you can be a disabled. You are still, you're part of the
government,
and so that is a good thing. That is a good pick, and we look forward to hearing from Chief Zanzakawa. I'm sure he's going to give us real mitigated pepper.
I can't judge something for the old man when he speaks. He say. Is it got the correct English there?
We will pick him out, but the message gets out there.
And then when he says that, then it makes everybody to take away the stress, and but that's good.
Absolutely,
that's good.
That's a good pick.
That's a good one.
We look forward to hearing from Chief Zanzakawa.
And you're
on
certainly going to
26th.
see all the elders. They are going to be.
Obviously,
Oh
they
yeah.
have to
Oh,
come in.
that their day.
Mhm.
That their day.
They'll showcase themselves that day. So today, the president dedicated the another promise made, kept, and delivered to the people of Claratown. And today saw the dedication of the Survivor Sports Park in Claratown. That park has a standard football field, a basketball court, children playground, and a utility building. Big, big milestone achievement there for the people of Claratown. But let's hear what His Excellency, had to say when this page was dedicated. Then we'll talk more.
Yeah, we'll
about
talk
it.
more about it. So I think we're good.
Today we are here to inaugurate the Claratown Claratown Survival Sport Park. The reason I call this place Claratown Survival Sport Park simply because all of us grew up in Claratown. Some all went away. We had opportunities. We survived. And we back in our community to give back. I could have named the place Young Survivor Sport Park. But Young Survivor is our team that plays on the field. But in Claratown, every citizen in this community was struggling during those days. Today, some of our ministers, we are lawmakers, the president, and what have you. So I thought it was to name this place Claratown Survivors, because we survived. This is another promise kept. I came here, I promised you, and I deliver. I said to you in a very friendly way, in a crude tone, more really, more really, more bakugbe for kekro tape mane we are. More one. So the people of Claratown, I just want to say to you, all the facilities, I will not come here to tell you how to treat them. I beg you, please, this is yours, you deserve it, please take care of it. We don't want to see fighting on the stadium. 90 minutes. So let us all enjoy this place. Our children go there, and let us try in our weak ways to make sure that our children are safe while they are here. My people of Claratown, they say I know nothing, but I've done something. I love you all, and we are here to celebrate the opening of this park. But we all here to show our own talent to ball. So let us ball and enjoy. Thank you. Enjoy. Thank you.
And so the bowling has started at the Claratown, Survivor Sports Park. More any.
No, I'm not going there with you today.
So I said it and I did it. That's what
okay.
he meant.
Okay,
I said I was going to do it and I did it.
Okay.
They say, I don't know anything.
Thanks for
I've not done anything.
Thanks for the interpretation. Right now.
But I've done something.
Okay.
At least the people can see exactly what I have done for them. And the president was he was trying to recount what happened and how the whole sports page or sports park started.
Yeah, came about.
He said he was just passing, and then he saw that the children were playing in the rain, and he said no. And the people said we don't have anywhere to play. He said I'm going to be back, and he was back. And look at what they have. And other things that were added to the sports park were because of his because he went back there, and even the toilets that they added there, there was an old lady who told him that, Mr. President, this thing you're doing here is a very good thing, but we don't have toilets here. They had to do, the toilets over there. It's just a testament of going back to your roots.
Yeah,
people say, you come in Washington, people say that, the president is a footballing president, but the president, football is not at its peak during his regime. The president cannot go back to play football. But the things the president will do for young people in this country and those who are talented and want to play football, he will only give them an opportunity. If they take their career seriously and they reach where George Weah reached in his footballing career, good for Liberia. But if you know, and I know that the young people of this country, there is no place for them to recreation is a place to have recreation is a problem in this country. And you can see for yourself at the Invincible Sports Park. Now, the people of West Point have a place for recreation, right? The people of Central Monrovia are using the Invincible Park. That is a very beautiful park.
One coming up to
the PHP is still, I know that one is really, really massive.
Okay, it's taking much time.
Yeah. But I heard from Mr. Yeke, who is carrying out these projects, and says that in Newcretown, another one is coming up for the people of Newcretown. Okay. You can imagine how passionate His Excellency is about, is about how passionate he's how passionate he is about making sure that the young people have a place for recreation. It will help the young people who will want to get involved in drugs, who will want to get involved in other things that they got no business getting involved with.
Exactly.
In that Claratown, they have a place now to go. You have a place now to go learn how to play basketball. As a young person, when you come from school, if you had interest in playing basketball, you have an opportunity. You don't have to leave from Claratown to go to West Point or to come to the Invincible Park. So because Newcretown is not ready, the one in Newcretown is not ready yet. Newcretown people can stop right to Claratown instead of coming to Invincible Park or going to West Point that is overly, populated. And they too want to use their field. And I saw so many young people out there today who were so excited that they have a place. By the time the program was over, I was watching it on LNTV, and you can see even men and women who have not even gone up and down the slides because we don't have this in our country. The thing is for the children, you see them going up and down the slides, even as big as they are. That's the reality. It tells you that when we were much smaller, we didn't have an opportunity to do that. This is what we wanted to do, but because we're in a country where we don't have those parks,
we've been deprived of those facilities.
Of course, now our children have an opportunity. Now they can go up and down the slides. It's a big deal. It is. A child born in Claratown, who the president, when he was in Claratown, he never had that opportunity to go up and down these slides. But children born there today, they will have an opportunity, and it's all on them now to make sure that they keep this place very clean, they keep it intact, then they have somebody who's going to be regulated properly so that it lasts long.
Exactly, Titi. This is what I call a reciprocity. You give and take. Yes, you give and take. Now, you see, you talked about something, the Claratown Survival Sports Park, right? That sports park in Claratown is going to help improve, the talents of these young people. And let's say thank you. You see, development has a starting point. Let's be honest. A lot of people talk about, the national team and this and that and all of that. Yes, let's agree. There will not be a 100%, a 100% solution to all of Liberia's problem under George Weah leadership.
Not at all.
Not at all. Liberia has got 175 years of experience. You understand? Since the day of independence, regardless of the senseless civil wars we fought in this country that have got this country nowhere, and just backwardness and just a total retrogression. It just brought us back. So what we are trying to do as a country, we're trying to get on path. Now, these, sport parks being built around the country, and I'm just hoping, and I know that the people in Bassa, the people in Sino, the people in some part of the country, Bombay and Cape Mount, they will certainly experience these, monumental developments. Exactly. So this is a way to increase and observe the young talents in the country from different spectrum, whether from the basketball, the football, whatever, what sport, from the background of sport. This improvement of sport parks being built around the country, some people may want to castigate, right? But everything about the government would not be to the taste of other people who are totally antagonist, right? So we want to say to Mr. President, this is something that has been done in good faith to help improve, to help ensure that the people in Claratown can now have a playground. A playground, like you were talking about recreation just now, Titi. A playground now in Claratown. This is also giving the people in Claratown job opportunity. Do you know that, Titi? Because we're going to have a regulatory body. We're going to have financial flow because people are going to be renting that place. People are going to be, stewards of that place. They need, people already got job now. You know that? And the job employment now is within Claratown. So people already got job now. From the development of that sport park, that place was like that, abandoned. There was no job there. Anybody can just go there and kick football. Now, even you go in there now, you go in there, at least you give some little cash. The old man who used to be sitting somewhere got nothing to do, he got something to do now.
Yeah, you can clean the toilets there.
He got something to do now. Somebody can sit by the toilet.
All the plastics over there and get something for doing
exactly.
that.
Somebody can sit by the toilet and make sure the toilet has been regulated. Someone can take charge, of the field. Someone is managing the pitch, the basketball, the little place there for other, different games and all of that. So I think this is a kind of a way to commence, improvement and development in different spectrums, So Liberia will not just be built in a daytime. It will not just be built, in a twinkle of an eye, but it's going to gradually be built with these different developments being observed and implemented by the government. So I think it's something laudable, and we must be able to acclimate the government for that.
Okay, so I know, like, you're listening to us, you from Claratown or wherever in where you're listening to us, you also are excited that the people of Claratown have a sports park where they too belong and they too can recreate. We're going to open up the lines for you to make your import. And after we close up on you, we're going to talk politics, and we're going to talk about the opposition for the next, half of the show. So it's your time. We've talked about what is happening now as we go to the Independence Day celebration, which is next Wednesday.
Next Wednesday, with Chief Zankawa.
You already know what has started. Golden Image Award last night. Today, President Weah was at the Black Jinnah Mosque. And then he dedicated the
Claratown
Survivors Sports Park. What's your take on that? We're going to open up the lines for you to make your import this evening. And then when we come back, we're told that the standard bearer of the Unity Party left the country today for the U.S., and there are different reasons why he left. We will be talking about some of those reasons. We're also told that Representative Yeke Koluba of District Number 10 misbehaved again today as usual. We'll talk a little bit about that.
They all Liberian party.
Yes, of Benana Yure. He had his own take on how he feels about the Unity Party.
Finally and officially. Yeah.
So we'll be talking about that. But first, let's take your calls on what we discussed previously, and then we'll come and talk about those issues and open up the lines for you to make your import.
So the numbers are 0880-514-096. That's the number we're using tonight, 0880-514-096. We talk about all of the issues that you need to hear You can make your input, give your concerns. The platform is now available for you to put in your calls. 080514-096. Good evening.
Hello.
Good evening.
Good evening.
What's your name and where you call from?
I'm Joseph calling from District 10.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I just want to comment on the topic of discussion. Yeah, I want to say all these things that we are doing, it will not solve like the young people problem. Just go delegating places that are not benefiting we like young people, but comes or towards things.
So what will benefit you?
So you're talking about benefit.
What is going to benefit you?
So we are going to delegating.
No, what is going to benefit you is what I'm asking.
Education, rule, health.
So why are you not going to school? What is it with the education that is bothering you? What is it with education that you're not happy about? George Weah, no, don't say Stiti Mia. Ask you a question. Just let's go to the point. You say education is going to help you. Why are you not in school? Universities are free. So what is the problem with education that you have?
What do you mean university is free? What did you
what? Don't talk to me. Just go to the issue. What is it that you have? The problem you have with the universities or with school?
You don't know? You don't know?
But you're not providing anything, Chief. Welcome. Good evening.
Yeah, it's still radio?
Yeah.
You're live, sir.
You're live.
Yeah, Titi, what's up, man?
I'm good.
Yeah, your favorite brother from your old community. I join you from St. Paul Bridge, man. How are you, Titi?
I'm great. It's good to have you. This
is Chacho Rufus Star. And I join you from the St. Paul Bridge, St. Ken community.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm a community president. But today, you know how I look at things? Why not good for you will be good for another person.
Absolutely.
But the only thing I want the president to do, you are putting with agriculture. For me, I hear from Gladys. Maybe I may like you to visit the biggest garden in St. Paul Bridge so that you will get one fresh plenty here to the same player. But the issue here, if the president can build a sport park, there should be 3 agricultural farms. And for his inauguration for the second time, that will be our major strength because the 4 period of the CDC include agriculture.
Okay.
Because we got plenty of people in the city doing nothing. So that when we take you from the street, you getting me?
You go make farm. That's true. I agree with you.
Yeah.
Because we need to eat.
3 counties. Let's start with first 3 counties. Compulsory farming. You see most of the people in the time 20 other way to get to somebody doing. It look attractive because I don't see my friends this more. Kind of time I got attacked. Government farm going back to the shopping later and going back to the farm. Myself, I want to get the same doing. So the president can redirect his action. Creating this sport park is good because the mind is not exercise, the mind is not relaxed to get frustrated and do all of things. So we're commending in that direction. But let him ask agriculture, they have the 4 period of the CDC.
Okay.
Actually, Rufus time again, one of the funny members of this great CDC.
Okay, Rufus. Thank you so much.
Hello.
Good evening, people in Washington.
Good evening.
Let me appreciate you guys this evening. This is Bobby. I will not this question. This is the Cooper. I would appreciate you all today. It's good for the president to do everything. But one thing we should take into consideration is young people need to be rehabilitated. That's when you're taking.
So I agree with you. The young people need to be rehabilitated. Didn't you hear about what the Ministry of Youth and Sports is doing now?
Hello.
Didn't you hear? Yeah, I'm getting you. You haven't heard about what the Ministry of Youth and Sports is doing?
No, I'm not hearing what the Ministry of Sports is doing right now because this infrastructure is very, very welcoming. But our young people who are in the street, these are the people who need to follow.
Okay, so let me educate you now since you don't know. Thank you, Abu, for being a part of the program. What you learning, Iki? My man, you said something. I'm trying to provide the information for you.
I listen to you to provide information.
So they have been financial allocation to the Ministry of Youth and Sport to be able to rehabilitate those people we call our
At-risk
at-risk youth. Yeah, so pretty soon,
And the Youth and Sports Ministry is dealing with all of these centers in the country where
very good.
those people who have been dealing with these people, the Youth and Sports Ministry has called them now and they're working with them. So they are not leaving them untouched. Yeah, Abu, thank you.
Abu, they will not just disappear from the street one night. Good evening.
Hello.
Hello. What's your name and where you call from?
Yes, I was speaking. I'm Joseph calling from District 10. I was speaking and you cut me off. Firstly, your family thing, however, because
Joseph.
When you and myself talking and I'm asking you questions,
Hello.
you should answer the question, sir. Then we'll keep you on.
Hello.
yeah, good evening.
Good evening.
Thank you. Good evening, Kiki, and good evening, the reaction point. This is Yeltsin Political talking about Johnny from District 16 to be precise, Novota East England. Thank you very much for the discussion, the topic on the discussion. It is good. Why it is true that the president is carrying on some of these conspiracy things. It is good. I applaud for that. But yes, that's not the focus point of Liberians. When you talk about the recreation, now it is good. I applaud you for that one. But the focus point of the people now, they see people the president is doing this thing for, is misunderstanding the focus point. If you read macroeconomics,
what is the focus point? I'm not an economist.
That's why I'm going there.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I'm going there.
Mm-hmm.
The focus point of the president, the focus point of the president, please let me learn. The focus point of the president should be the reduction in the inflation rate, the reduction.
What is the inflation rate now?
Look at the inflation rate.
I'm asking you, what is the inflation rate?
The inflation rate is over 20%.
Wow. You people, all you do is just misinform the public. That's what you do. And it's sad. It's sad. As a young man, you should do your background investigation before you come on the radio and just say things that you got no business saying. You don't even know. You said this is not the focus point of the people. Who told you? The people who you saw out there, who are they? The people who you saw to Clarendon today, who are they? Are they not Liberians?
A handful of people. They are not the people.
Oh,
they don't make the entire population.
Also, you expected that everybody in Liberia will go to Clarendon today?
I don't expect that. But what I'm saying,
why would you say that then? No, because you're misleading the public.
No, I'm not misleading. Let me speak my mind.
No, you're not here to speak. If you're speaking your mind, you're saying the right thing, the correct thing, that's fine. But you're misleading the public. And I'm not going to allow you to do that. You're misleading the public. Let's hear you, sir.
Yeah, good evening. How's the evening?
Good.
We're good.
Yeah, but I see if I call you from Pennsylvania, like.
Yes, hear you.
You see, they put this for the youth, but 25% of our youth, they are just college. So who really expect to benefit from that in your place?
Where you get your statistics from that 25% of the youth are drug
Every community is not for statistics. We're not coming to go for every community.
You said
25% of the young people are drug addicts. I ask you where you get your stats when you say
how did you know 25% of the people are drug addicts?
How do I know? You're not seeing because you want to preach politics. You're not seeing that every
So what do you want to preach now? Since we want to preach politics, so you should be misleading the people and you want us to allow you to do that. We ask you simple question. Where you got your stats from? If you say 25% of the people, of the young people are drug addicts, where you get your stats from? You can say
every community.
Also, if every community has a drug addict, then it means that 25% of the young people are drug addicts.
So you should be doing something towards that. So see,
but the government is doing something towards that, unless you refuse to listen.
Government doing something to every day we see new recruits.
Oh, but you think you will not see new recruit? Rome was not built in one day, sir. So it's not going to happen overnight. You have a responsibility as a father also. You can put everything on the government. You have a responsibility. If you have children, you bring them up properly also, so that they don't end up in the streets. You too have a responsibility. I have a responsibility.
But you understand, governance is a process. It's not just a one-day thing. Good evening.
Yeah, good evening.
Yeah.
Kitty, good evening, and let me say good evening to Washington.
Good evening,
Good
sir.
evening.
Archiviko Do, and I call from my Banana resident.
Let's hear you,
Let's
sir.
hear you.
You know, I wanted to take my time. I wanted to take my time to listen, but the young man called, and I got constrained to call. When he says that inflation is over 20%. It's a thing that you haven't checkmated, Kitty. These are young people who pass around, they don't read, they don't give time to research, they use smartphone, and they are never taking a day to read reports from international reputable institutions. Our inflation rate is still at a single digit, a little over 7%. The World Bank is saying that due to the uncertainty surrounding the election, inflation will move to around 8.4. It will not enter double digits. Where the young man is coming from to say inflation rate over 20%, you see how stupid some people can be?
No, we gotta be mindful because of what we get. Take it back, I beg you, take it back.
Yeah,
I understand your frustration because it's very sad that somebody just takes the phone and call on the radio and just spew out live
It's so crazy.
and assume
There you go
that
again.
you will not be checkmated. Not here. I know they're not going to be happy, but not here. Okay, thank you.
You want to make that chemo, he said over 25%.
Oh, young people are drug addicts. Where you get your tax from? He can't even provide it.
Oh my God, yeah.
Thank you,
Let
man.
me close on this note. The president will win on the first ballot on the basis of a deliverable. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Doe.
Hello.
That person is off the line. 080-514-096 is the number to call, and you'll be live on Open Conversation. The fact of the matter is we will checkmate you if you come here with your statistics that are not true.
Hello.
Hello.
Good evening.
Yeah, I'm Jason Cooper. Hello.
Let's hear you.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I just want to buttress the caller like that level like before me. 91% of the youth are just addicts.
Oh, you're going to 91%. Okay, but then you say you are drug addict. You say you are drug addict.
91%.
Since that 91%, so you include it, right? You include it, right?
TV? Yeah.
Hello.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Yeah, this is Amadou Billet. I call for the village.
Okay, Amadou.
All right. Thank you so much, and thank you, PT, for your professionalism. It is quite unfortunate that people who do not have information, people who are not even close with authority to make statements, will take pleasure in spreading lies. How can somebody come up to say that 25%
That thing is
of the young
trivial,
people
man.
are
91%. Who believes that?
It is obnoxious. All right? Look, let me say this to you, TT, and the rest of the folks. President Weah is going to win this election based on his working. Look, I graduated from the Hayward Mission School class of 98. I almost never sat the test because of $620 Liberian dollar. I had to go cut grass for people to have gotten that money. Today, that money is not ready for somebody. We have seen the transformation in this country. It is unimaginable at my age. What I never expected is what I'm also part of and doing. As we speak tonight, we are in the rain working for this country. Let the people not be ungrateful because they will receive punishment in time to come. We are going to win this election, and we are going to win it on the basis of our working. Thank you, and thank the Liberian people for appreciating His Excellency, and we'll do our best as we continue to serve this nation. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for being a part of the program. Hello. Hello.
Hello. Hello.
You're live, sir. Go ahead, please.
Yeah, you know, one guy came on saying that the people that said that they are not the people in Liberia, you know, not everybody. On one thing, Unity Party always saying that the Liberal people have resolved. That thing can help me then going and show me that of the Liberal people. Who made the Liberal people? The Liberal people have resolved. This and that. That thing can help me. Sometimes if I could see someone else, I'll turn them around.
Thank you so much, Reverend Pratt. Good evening.
Good evening.
Good evening, sir.
I'm Emmanuel calling from Georgia.
Let's hear you.
Hear you.
Yeah. Thank you very much for the topic discussion. My advice to the folks that are calling and trying to have an false analysis concerning drugs in the country. My advice to them, we should keep that voting card, they shouldn't lose it. Because our prayer is intact for the solution. So that they can meet us at the bottom bar. Because our people is aware that this is a strong. We're not taking anything lightly. My advice to them again, that they should keep their voting card very tight, that it shouldn't lose. Because we are ready to take our president back for the 12 years.
Okay.
So all that thoughtful analysis carrying around, I don't know who gave them that kind of analysis. We don't ask for them. We're keeping our voting card very, very tight. Thank you very much.
Thank you also for being a part of the program. We'll take 2 more calls and then we'll wrap up this segment of the program. Go to hello. Hello.
No, that is just
A
the feedback.
person is not ready yet.
Hello.
Evening. This is 194 calling from New Project Field.
Go
Let's
ahead,
hear
sir.
you, man.
Yeah, thank you so much for the program. Open mind. It's a very good thing, especially this political season. So what we want to say here is, if you don't have anything to offer, any good thing to offer Liberian people, keep silent and just listen. I wanted to just remain mute. But you see, these people, these Unity Party that have been in power for 12 years, it is proving that they still the Liberian people. The money that came in for Unity Party government for 12 years, since Liberia came as a nation, no money has come into the country as compared to that. What have they done? Did they build the country? No. The Unity Party bearer who was the architect.
Hello.
Yeah, hello?
Go ahead. What's your name? Where you call from?
Bodo, I come from JJ Ghana.
Go ahead, sir. You have 30 seconds. We're wrapping up in the time.
Okay, yeah, no problem. Okay, I just want to appreciate the analysis that you went through. I pick up 2 things that I just want to make and price on that. One has to do with somebody or whatsoever the case that has to do with the drug business. I came and grew up on Kerry Street. There was a town in Point right behind the Defense Ministry during the 80s. We built up Gaba right behind the National Defense Ministry. It was an opinion behind that. But we are doing the best to curtail it the best way they can. But like you said, it is involvement of everybody. You can't be the parent and bring the child up in a very negative way and you expect government to be coming to your house or houses, to be taking care of things. We are all have to put our hand on that collectively.
Thank you. I think it was something.
Yeah, all right. The next point has to do with the men who were on the back and telling, by the people or people that, he doesn't have jobs. I went telling him some time ago while working the UN, people were riding back and taking it very seriously. Job is not necessarily mean that you have to have
everybody won't work in government. So if you're not working in government,
no, that is not the case. Why do you, if you say work, they discuss what is work and what is job that gives you wage, anything that gives you wage is job.
They don't see it that they don't see it that way.
Yeah, but then we have to make them to understand. We have to force them to understand that necessary and that even in the United States we drive 7 shops to live. Despite whatever place they came from, they start off from 7 cap and other things. So I just wanted to get in without point, and appreciate you people very much for your analysis. Thank you, and have a good evening.
Okay, sir. Thank you. Thank you. Let's just leave it at that. I'm
Yeah.
sorry, we're not taking calls anymore. We have another topic on a discussion. And all of you who are calling and giving your false analysis, I know you will call again. So let's leave it.
Let's leave it at that,
But
yeah.
it's sad that if you want to win elections, if you are from another party, come to the table clean and and fair.
You have to be
And
accurate.
don't come on the radio and just lie
Spew
about
out.
everything because you feel that you don't support the government. This is an opportunity you have on this radio. I always like to tell you, Unity Party people, because when Unity Party was in government, CDC never had this opportunity. This is one of the things that makes George Weah different from Unity Party. And this is one reason why people will support, President Weah, because he does not stifle the press. You have your say on the national station because you are a Liberian and you too have a say. And if you come on this radio, come with the facts. We're not going to allow you to just say anything you want to say because you want to talk. It's not fair to the Liberian people. If you think people are in Clarendon, they don't deserve a sports park because your children are in the street, hold yourself responsible also because you are a parent and you have a job to do.
Mm-hmm.
If you give birth to children, you must take care of them. If you will have to work 24/7, that is your responsibility. And if you have, thrown that responsibility to the government and the government is doing her best to make sure that these children are out of the street, all you can do is encourage the government. It's not everything you guys make just political. Your child is out there is only because you don't take good care of that child or you have not given them that guardians, that proper guardians. That is why they are out there. And it's the government's responsibility. But don't make it look like the government has told you that born 10 children, give birth to 15 children, and will take responsibility of those children. That is not what's happening in this country. So nobody is happy that people are out there as drug addicts, but we must not make it political. If the government is making strides, let's talk about it. But forget these people. The Unity Party government was here, and these people were in the streets. Zogos were out in the streets.
I was just trying to make a contribution to that. If we talk about drug addicts, who makes these?
Who brought these drug addicts?
Sometimes the parents, they want to bring these children up. They give them the leverage, the privilege to their self-life, their desires. Whatever they do, they don't care. The parents are very a little bit laissez-faire. They just don't care about the children.
Sometimes your own child is misbehaving. When your neighbor say this child is not a good child, you prop them and say, "Yeah, my child, don't do this." When they go astray, now you say that the government problem.
You seen it? Then when they get in the street, you say the Zocos are in the street. They are 91%. Who put them in the street?
I mean, who call and say that 91%? He is saying he's Zogo. But if you can say that 91% of us are Zogos, then you're not part of it. So you fall in the 9% of the people who are correct. I
just don't want to even believe in that.
But who's going to believe?
Nobody will believe what he said. 91% of the young people are Zogo. Then what kind of country we'll be living in at about this time? It's unrealistic.
Okay, let's go to our
let's move to our next
topic on the discussion before we bring in Mr. Yuri, let's talk about what happened with Representative Yeke Kolova and the ECOWAS delegation.
And NEC.
And NEC. So you go ahead. You start.
Okay, so today there was this issue about the National Elections Commission meeting with, these aspirants, those registered aspirants, to be able to inform them about the Farmington Declaration Agreement so that they will be able to live up to what they sign up to. And I listened to the Madam Brown. She said something. Those people who have not signed up, do you know that there are other people who have not signed up to the agreement yet?
Well,
yes. There are other people who have not signed up to the agreement. So she said, everybody must be able to sign up to that. And today, Yeke in his angry tone, he said, "We sign up to the agreement, but we disrespect the agreement." And
that's strange anyway.
So the essence of the meeting today was to inform, those aspirants, because these times are very critical, right? And you can sense that politicians who will want to derail the peace of the country will take interest in violence. Yes. So the National Elections Commission made a remark and also had a reflection about, the disrespect these politicians are actually attributing to the National Elections Commission law when it comes to campaign. You know that most of them, they are doing this pre-campaign, and she spoke about it today. She said the National Elections Commission takes keen interest in most of you politicians with the pre-campaign stuff. And you guys gotta stop it, because the National Elections Commission will be rigid. We are going to make sure that every politician must respect the National Elections Commission law. You must be able to go by that. So in the hall today, after these conversations, there were space given for concern, and the guys raised their hands, and Representative Yeka was not choosing, to make his concern. And then he burst out into anger and he walked out of the building. And then he used, the normal profanities and vulgarities, right? He used them. And he also accused ECOWAS of conniving with the National Elections Commission to temper the elections in the CDC's favor.
See how far he gone.
Oh, yeah, he did that. He certainly did that. He accused ECOWAS of being, into a kind of, a coup, right?
And these are the kind of people, those people who are giving fake and false readings here on the radio. These are the kind of people they support.
Yeah. So you see, when he said
those
things,
speak about these kind of things.
He said those things, and these are things the National Elections Commission is trying to abolish, right? And we must be able to live up to that. Because if we have politicians threatening the peace of this country, it certainly won't be good. So you all need to observe the National Elections Commission law. Make sure that you don't threaten nor derail the peace of the country. These are things that these politicians, they need to understand.
Is he already smelling defeat or what? Because if you're confident of what you've done as a lawmaker, you've been a lawmaker for 6 years now. If you think you have, done something well for your people, you shouldn't go to these kind of, programs and then misbehave. Although people know you as, this very misbehaving lawmaker, but when you have people from outside who have come to your country to make sure that everything is on course, if you are a lawmaker, then you must act like one. But if you get out of the hall and start accusing those same people of wanting to rig elections in favor of the government that has not had any record of doing that whatsoever, then it's sad on your part. Representative Yege Koluba, of late, I've been seeing on social media that the Unity Party is trying to put a candidate in his district, and the people there are not happy about that, because those who support the ANC are not happy about that, because quote unquote Yege Koluba is their very rude lawmaker who can talk for them, so they don't want him to leave the district. So they are not happy with the Unity Party folks who are trying to put a candidate against him in that district. Why are you crying? If even you're not, the ANC and the Unity Party are not,
they're not in collaboration.
Not in any collaboration. They are going their separate ways.
Exactly.
So if the Unity Party puts up a candidate, you were there for 6 years. What did you do? This is started to show yourself a proof. What have you done for 6 years at the legislature that you are not so confident that you are going to win these elections, and you are already forcing with everybody because somebody is putting a candidate against you? And I don't know whether it's about this frustration that he's having because Unity Party is putting a candidate against him. CDC already has a candidate against him. He shouldn't worry. Sometimes when you are an incumbent lawmaker and you see a lot of people coming into the race, it's only your work that is going to get you reelected.
Exactly.
Because if you have so many people in the district and you are the incumbent, you are in the lead because you've worked hard. If you haven't worked hard, then you will have a problem, and you will be worried that those people who are coming, will get you defeated. But if you worked hard and you have so many people contesting against you in the district, it's a simple majority. It's easy for you to win. But if you see a lawmaker who is an incumbent lawmaker and crying foul at this, very, very initial, state of a process, then it speaks volume. It's just sad that Representative Yege Koluba will continuously carry himself the way he is carrying himself. He's a total disappointment to the people of District Number 10. Take it or leave it. I was in the media at Sky FM. I covered Representative Yeke Koluba during the Unity Party period when he was even taken to the jail in Magibi County. When he came back from that jail, he was given a hero welcome in that his district number 10. But I'm sure that the people of that district are so disappointed. If you have a lawmaker who is going to carry himself that way, what is your child learning from that person? You should be speaking against these kind of things if you are a person who wants this country to be a better place. We all have disagreements, but the way he goes about, voicing out his disappointment, his disagreement, is just so disappointing and unbecoming of a lawmaker.
And he even threatened the peace today, Titi. He even threatened the peace about using firearms, and that was so. That was so.
It's just sad. It's just
yes,
sad.
but that's what we're saying.
It's
because
just sad.
these are things the National Elections Commission is trying to put a stop to, and people.
He feels he's law and gospel unto himself as a lawmaker. You can carry yourself properly as a lawmaker.
People contesting in these elections must be able, to restrain themselves when it comes to violence intakes.
Somebody leaves from the country just to make sure that your process is, well on course.
Mm-hmm.
And what do? You rain insults on that person, and you think it's okay as a lawmaker. What are you telling the people that we Liberians can elect just anybody, anyhow, to lead us as a lawmaker?
Yeke seems to find it very difficult in that district because most of the people, if you have the opportunity to interview them, TT, most of the people, when you ask them, why do you want to lead District 10? They tell you District 10 is being underrepresented. The lawmaker is living in serious, administrative oblivion. That's why almost everybody's telling you.
It's just sad. So let's go to Mr. Ure.
Mr. Ure.
I think we have a recording. Let's just play that before we talk about it, and we'll just wrap up with the former vice president.
Exactly. So are we there?
Should we? Okay, they're looking for the video.
Yes.
And
so yesterday, the ALP certificated about 36 of their aspirants. The National Elections Commission has, placed up the list of those people, getting involved with the elections from different political parties.
Mm-hmm.
So the ALP, being one of the forerunner parties in these elections, have got some people on their ticket as well. So yesterday there was this kind of gathering wherein they have meetings with their people, and they were able to communicate with those people on their tickets. So Mr. Ure was given the opportunity to address, the rest of the people that had assembled. So he spoke some words and about the Unity Party, and officially
has he parted company with the Unity Party officially?
It would just be good you listen to the audio. I mean the video. Are we there? Are we there? It would just be good you listen to what he said. He said some things about the Unity Party, and officially, and he said in his altercation, he said that the Unity Party is practicing evil.
What is that supposed to mean?
Oh, that's supposed to mean that they've been starved in the back.
Oh, so ALP has been stabbed in the back.
Exactly.
Okay.
So he said that the Unity Party had this, political, perception of bringing the opposition. There was an alliance you were hearing about in the corner, right? The opposition, Democratic Alliance or something like that. An alliance. He spoke about it, and he said that the Unity Party felt so confident, and you understand, and they felt that they don't need any other political party support. If you can support them, they don't need you. They take you to be a political non-entity. Right, so they are going about. If you think that you can join them, you join them. If you think that you can join them, you are less important. So, in the eyes of the ALP, they think that the Unity Party looks at them from a less important perspective.
Really?
Exactly. That's what he said, and he said they are not going to support the Unity Party, come what may. They will not. Oh yes. He said it. That means that means the separation between the Unity Party and the All Liberian Party has just deepened widely, has just deepened.
So the battle line is drawn.
The battle line is finally drawn, and we were kind of taking a look at the kind of people who are vowing to lead this country. You understand? A lot of people. You listen to the guys. You listen to the folks here. They're talking about a president. We are work around the country, the length and breadth of the country, and how he's.
So did he say who he's joining?
No, he did
just
not.
said that he's not supporting it. He's not.
And he said the Unity Party will also know that they are a force to reckon with in these elections. That means if it goes with anything that has to do with external collaboration, they are not going to.
Oh, he ain't thought the real thing, yeah, man. I want to.
No,
Man,
he won't talk.
we're sorry, we can't even bring you this video. The clip is not ready, so we can't bring it to you. Too bad.
Yeah, man, we like
I
that.
thought, in fact, he even said where he was going, but
No,
he
did not say. He did not say so.
So he's still in the opposition. Is he still in the opposition?
Yeah, but this tells you how divided. How divided the
Well,
opposition
who doesn't
has
know
become.
that?
Yes.
Who doesn't know that?
And what it does is that it weakens their chances of even becoming much stronger in these elections. And a lot of people will get discouraged and feel unfortunate about these elections because the opposition are unserious people. They are not ready to make any sound decision with all of these massive disjointed opposition ideology amongst themselves. They are not showing any a tangible sign of leadership to lead this country. It's all about this unity and disorganization, stuff like that.
Okay, so Unity Party seems to be standing alone. CPP gone already.
CPP gone. Liberty Party is fragmented.
Liberty Party, a piece they got. Not even half of Liberty Party, but a quarter of Liberty Party has gone with them, and Unity Party.
ALP gone.
ALP already gone.
Yeah.
We don't know where ALP is going. We will find out in the coming days, but it is what it is.
ALP said
how did he look? He was very troubled when he was talking.
Mr. Ure? Oh no! If you watch the video, you see his his physical appearance and his gesticulation. He was just awesome.
Cool man, no book like
no, he was just awesome. Titi.
Okay.
His body language was good. It was good.
Okay, great. So we already know that there was a release from the Unity Party. We don't have much time, so I just want us to talk about it like for the next 7 minutes, and then we can open up the lines for the people to make their input. So we heard that there was a release from the Unity Party that the standard bearer, Joseph Yuma Boakai, left the country today, July 21, for the U.S. For 2 weeks to visit 4 states, according to them, and but there is a newspaper that is saying that it has the reason behind Ambassador Boakai's trip to the U.S. So I'm going to read, this what the paper carried today, and we'll talk a little bit about it. It says here that Unity Party standard bearer Joseph Yuma Boakai leaves Liberia today, Friday, July 21, for the United States of America for a 2-week visit that will take him to 4 states, according to the Unity Party press release issued yesterday. But contrary to what the UP camp is saying, that Ambassador Boakai will use the trip to attend his granddaughter's wedding and tour other cities to meet with diasporan Liberians and potential investors. They come here again with a 30 million. Wologisi is still up for grabs. The analyst has been reliably informed that the UP standard bearer is actually going to Raw Island to examine his pacemaker that was installed in 2018. According to our source, the pacemaker, which was installed in 2018 for Mr. Boakai, has not been reading normally. His trip to the U.S. is therefore meant to basically examine the condition of his pacemaker. He was there in February this year, at which time it was installed for another 6 months, and it will expire this July, the source intimated. However, the press release issued July 20, 2023 from the JMB camp says Mr. Boakai, who will be accompanied by his wife Katumu, while Boakai will be making special stops in New Jersey, Rhode Island before reaching his destination in Minnesota. The Unity Party standard bearer, the press release said, will be in the Twin Cities primarily to participate in services of his granddaughter, matrimonial services of his granddaughter, Councilor Jaine Siatamba, and her fiancé, which will take place in Cassia, Minnesota on Sunday, July 30. Ambassador Boakai will also use the occasion to grace the bridal shower in Brooklyn in the evening. Okay, Ms. Tamba, senior associate, this is not important, blah, 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 blah. So, the renowned statesman, currently the leading opposition figure in Liberia, will seek to share, okay, blah, blah, blah. So this is why they say he's going, right? But the paper is saying that the reason why Ambassador Boakai, what they have unearthed is that when Uncle Boakai went to the States in late January of this year, a week after he was discharged from ERW Hospital, and upon his request, as usual, that they bring in what Costa said. So they're quoting Costa. I scheduled several medical appointments for him with his cardiologist, that is a heart doctor, and an internal medicine doctor. All the medication examinations from ERW Hospital and from the doctors in the United States concluded one thing, that Ambassador Joseph Yuma Boakai needed to do a triple bypass open heart surgery within 6 months to have a weakening artery in his heart removed and replaced by another artery for his heart. The doctors advised that if he didn't get the surgery done within 6 months, his heart could stop beating. The doctors also advised Uncle Joe against putting himself through unnecessary stress, as they said it could only worsen his condition. We were all very scared, as you can imagine. That Costa talking with this diagnosis, we decided to keep this information a very tight secret and work very fast to get Uncle Joe Boakai back to the United States for the surgery. So on March 2nd, after I had raised the money for the trip, we had a Zoom meeting to finalize plans for the very important trip back to the States. In that meeting, where Louis Tamba, who lives in Minnesota, Jake Kabakoli, Sir Johnny, Jojo Boakai, Uncle Joe, and myself. I coordinated the meeting. The next day, I bought 2 plane tickets, 1 business class for Uncle Joe and 1 economy for his nephew, Jacob Kabakoli, to depart Liberia on March 22 via Accra on Delta Airlines to arrive in the U.S., New York the next day and onward to Minnesota. I bought 1 ticket, blah, blah, blah. That Costa story. So I didn't ask him why, but blah, blah, blah. So this is, I don't want to go through August, almost ending. So let me
it's almost ending.
So he says, I had to depart, blah, 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 blah. I bought 1 ticket for myself to fly from Delaware to Minnesota on the same day of March to receive them from the airport and drive them to the residence I had booked for them in Minnesota. Everything was all set, but 2 weeks to their departure from Liberia, Jake Kabakoli called me to say that Uncle Joe was canceling the trip. I didn't ask him why, but I was shocked that Uncle Joe would cancel such an important trip without speaking with me. It was very strange and unusual. But then, days later, I started to hear yet the gravest rumor that Ambassador Boakai believed may be influenced by his people, that President George Weah and his people had provided me with a huge amount of money to pay several American I know they were, but I know that somebody, doctors in the American hospital to kill Ambassador Boakai during the surgery. And so that was why Uncle Joe canceled the surgery. I couldn't believe that they could not go I couldn't believe that they could go to that extent. But on March 30th, the bombshell came from Ambassador Joseph Yuma Boaka himself. He sent me a long WhatsApp message saying a lot of things. And in that last paragraph, he said that he had received information that he would be killed in the surgery and would therefore not participate in the elections. So he wasn't going for the surgery anymore. I was beyond shock and deeply heartbroken when I read that message, which validated all the rumors that I was hearing. I still have it in my phone, Mr. Costa was saying. So this is what the paper is saying, that, that Ambassador Boaka should have gone to do the surgery because he did one earlier this year and he's supposed to go at the end of this month to do it, because if he didn't do that, he'll be in problem. His heart will stop at any time. That is the revelation from Costa. But what is happening now is the same July that he's going to the States, even though the Unity Party people are saying that he's going to tour 4 states, he's going for his granddaughter, wedding and what have you. The paper is saying that he's going to the States to do his surgery because he should have done it ever since, but he couldn't do it because he didn't trust that, we said Costa was in cahoot with the government and they were going to kill him. So my thing is, nobody looks for sickness, right? If you're sick, you have to be truthful to the Liberian people. If you're going for surgery, say I'm going for surgery. And so everybody can pray for you. And so that when you come back, people know exactly. Because if you want to lead this country, you must be truthful. If you're not well to lead, it's not about you. It's sincerity to the presidency, because if you are the president of the republic, then you are the number 1 man in the country, and a lot of people look up to you. And if you have an ailing condition that you are not sharing with the people because you want them to give you power, it is sad to the fullest. It is sad.
You said something very important, TT, like about sicknesses are ailments that nobody reach for. Nobody pray for, and for me, I would not pray for it for anybody. Not at all. I will not do that because
you're not God.
Even not God, but I will not do that. I don't wash my hand out of that. So, but here is it. You just said it right. That Liberia deserves a country. Liberia deserves a person who can physically be strong and move the country and being honest. Being truthful. Look, sickness. Look, TT, everybody's sick.
Leadership comes with honesty.
Everybody's sick. Everybody's sick. But look, when you want the first seat in the country, you understand? It comes with a huge responsibility. And the pressure that comes with that seat, it's not a joke. You know very well that being a president, you have a huge number of responsibility associated with you. And with these issues surrounding you, you can talk much about that. No, maybe don't go.
Okay, so that's the last segment of the program. We have, we'll give you additional 12 minutes. It's your time to put through your calls. That is what the paper is saying. Ambassador Boaka left the country today. My thing is about honesty, because if you want to lead this country, you must be honest to the Liberian people. You can tell us one thing and you're doing another thing. It is not fair, because leadership comes with honesty.
Huge responsibility.
In my mind, you will have a huge responsibility. If we know that you are ailing and we want to elect you, we will still elect you, because we're doing it, at our own detriment.
Exactly.
But don't fool us, because we can be fooled.
Okay, now the number.
Hello?
Someone's on the line.
Oh, okay. Good evening.
Good evening.
What's your name?
Thank you for the show. Thank you so much
Go
for
ahead.
educating the people. When you said this is what which is a more to. But you said Henry Costa was lying, and then you want to say from the map. But you know, I'm just grateful to God for the kind of way that we show up to bring us from some on the 17th, the way we put our love to our president. Now listen to the first caller. You're calling, speaking to the people, so you have something called bring that election. Don't talk about that. If there's meaning of it, you bring it to out, and it will go down. So thank you for the show. Thank you for asking me.
Thank you
very much. Welcome. Good evening. What's your name?
Good evening.
What's your name?
Good evening, sir.
And good evening to your co-host. This is Mr. Ojukwu Oboswa.
So you that speech you got me mayor, Benet, you just taking your own time that you on the podium, man. Ojukwu, I'm the Latino.
But today I think the parliament, I don't know whether you are getting me.
I'm getting you. Yeah, my neighbor.
Titi, I'm good.
Ojukwu.
What are you on tonight?
Okay, let's take this other person. The man just, I think he got married and so he paused.
Okay.
Hello.
Hello, Titi in Washington. Thank you this evening. This is Bobby Abu Meska.
Titi best friend. Go ahead.
So, Titi, listen, actually, everyone in Nigeria can just say, yeah, the breaker, honorable breaker, is the right to leave this country to travel and go lobby for campaign money. So the brother leaving the country to go in the country, that does not indicate that brother is still going to have lobby. So the person we are leaving the country, so we should just remain like it the way.
Okay. You go for campaign money, yeah? Okay, no problem. Thank you. Okay, thank you. Thank you.
Hello?
Hello.
Good evening.
Yeah. If you can remember, today, when these people went and told Baka that you can relax, don't hammer yourself, you relax, we'll do all the work for you. Okay. See? So that's why, that's why, they were thinking of, because they knew that he's supposed to go back for treatment. So they said, relax, relax, we'll work for you, don't worry yourself, go and we'll do the work. And nobody can have that, all of that.
We need to see the puppet out there. He needs to be. You can't go camping. We be in America. We be camping.
Hello.
What's that?
Hello?
How you doing? What's your name?
Yeah, this is Michael. I'm Michael Nambi. I'm calling from 77.
Let's hear you, Mr.
Go
Nang.
ahead, Mr. Nambi.
We don't have opposition in this country. We have people who just argue like our favorite supporters will have Baka and Chelsea. And they call opposition in this country. When the African will ask them, what is the problem you got with the current president? When they do not talk and you try to analyze it, they will leave it and go to another topic. So now when you know opposition, they get down one thing.
Okay.
So I don't want to have our head. Thank you.
Thank you. That's good expression. Good evening.
Yeah, good evening, Titi and my brother.
Good evening. What's your name and where you come from?
Yeah, this is Steve Joy. I'm calling from Central Community. I'm the Secretary General for the promotion of re-electing President John Manuel.
Go ahead, my brother.
Thank you for the show. For the issue of Yagaya, I think he's playing clear parties. I don't care what you do, you will be defeated. For the woman, I'm not clear whether you go spend 2 weeks or whatsoever you go drink or you go on wedding. You must come back to receive a second defeat from the president.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Good evening.
Hello.
Good evening. What's your name and where you come from?
I'm Johnson calling from
Go ahead. You have to be a little audible, sir.
I'm Johnson calling from Yellow Junction.
Go ahead, sir.
Yeah, I want to comment on the topic discussion. Why our incoming president left like Virginia and Wani and Danny when we had took our taxpayer money from here and carry.
Hello?
Yeah, hello?
Yep. Hello? Hello? Hello?
Yes, this is Joseph Emmanuel Tablet calling from the intellectual forum of Rescue One, Momo Camp.
Oh, go ahead.
Yes, the issue is the Vice President, former Vice President Joseph Baka traveling out of the country. It doesn't mean that he stay or what airports are trying to say is a factual information about the public. The Baba is trying to block it for finances to be able to help in the campaign process. So it's lobbying against campaign rules. So I don't people to be clear on the elementary issue is something that the Baba needs to go out and gather form to be able to come and do some work in the country.
All right.
So we all are in support of that.
Okay, thank you.
Good evening. What's your name and where you come
Well,
from?
thank you. This is Ojuku. This is Ojuku Oboswa. Oboswa Ojuku.
Go ahead.
But today, it is laughable when I listen to the oppositions saying that they are killing have gone to lobby for campaign money. Look, Costa was very clear and crystal clear that at the end of this month, July, that the ambassador was going to America for a surgery. So you cannot dispute that. And on a more condition, as a human for politics, you will sit and die. So the ambassador is very clear. You don't want to die because that's what the hospital for. You cannot sit here and die. So you have to use all kinds of means and media. That when you're going for a program, a wedding program, you will need the country to go for a wedding program in America as a certain politician. Look, no one should believe that. So all we can see the Liberians, Persevere is the only way forward. And for us, as a ruling government, we will pray that we will go through the surgery successfully, come back to life.
Ojugu, you gone off. Somebody took you off. Hello.
Back. Hello.
Yeah, hello, Titi.
Present.
Okay, this is Paul Sosa. I call from Information.
Go ahead.
Listen, sir.
I want to know how many times this Unitary people go to America to go look for money. The first time the person went there, they realized 20,000 they went motor he spent there. And he went out something like how he go to run one district campaign, some people double 15 counties. Then secondly, nobody don't want to America to go lobby to go look for money. She not Friday morning. Then she said, brother, bring back again for the cat or they still hide the money from them. No money. You see, the same thing Costa was talking. They say, oh, Costa was a liar. Costa was a liar. Yeah, he coming to pass. So the people, they continue to laugh and blame people, and we are not stupid here. You can't bring somebody who is not okay. You can't bring them over the country. You people want to kill the people before it can. They are just wicked people.
Hey.
They don't love this country.
Oh, okay.
All right.
They don't love this country.
All right.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You know, the thing about it is it? I like the way.
Hello.
How you
So they
doing?
want to put pressure on the old man. Good evening.
James William calling from Pontiac, in Kahasi Highway.
Go ahead, James.
Okay, you know, the United Party is people that they don't want to be structured like bring people. They want us to elect Joseph Boakai, and they don't want to be fair to us. So, of course, I keep seeing it here over and over, and they continue to deny. For however, let us just go around to whatever they want to do. It is show and telling that president we are second thing is show and setting. We are prepared and resolved to elect president. We are confident to the count authority. So, Joseph Boakai is now your own going thing, all different things. It's just like a pregnant woman. I will not pregnant for 1 month, 2 months. It will continue to deny, but before
Even though she's spitting, she still says she ain't pregnant.
yeah. But coming to fast everybody will
First start getting pregnant on my own, and she said,
So all that time, what I will do is go to work on preparation, but by the time it reaches, we have to like people know what happened.
Okay, thank you. Thank you very much. Good evening and welcome. What's your name and where you come from?
So today to conclude this Ojuku, the network here is very bad.
But I thought,
Oh, do you get play listen bro?
All we can say to the opposition, we pray that Ambassador Boakai will be well and come by, and we'll defeat him. We want to defeat him when he is well and destroy his era.
Okay. Oboswa Ujuku. Good evening. Welcome.
Hello.
Welcome. What's your name and where you come from?
Thank you. You see, the opposition, I don't want you to fool the women. You see, this is the women, number one, the men, they are OH. The men is O. Then two, the men is not well. This is the men, we're not able to pull party together. You see, most of the people are in a party, like Emmanuel Nukwe, who was former vice president to him. Then the like of Edwin Snow. Most of the party people, all of them left him. Because you're not able to put them together. Because the man who was the chairperson for CPP, it actually took 1 more CPP started during the administration. Because now they want to control it by the nose, and what they're still doing.
Okay.
The opposition. So you have to be careful.
Okay.
Okay.
You'll be careful, yeah? Okay.
They should be mindful. Very, very mindful.
You know, somebody struck a point. They said, you know, Ambassador Bwaka went back to the States to campaign. They wanted money for the party.
Oh, yeah.
He went to campaign. Yombli Kanga Lawrence went there to campaign. And the thing about it is, if you say Costa is lying, the dates are adding up. Yeah, they are adding up. One thing is, honesty, leadership is about honesty.
Mm-hmm.
You cannot be saying one thing when you know another thing is happening. But again, people think politics is all about lying to the people. If Ambassador Bwaka is not well, he's not well. If the Liberian people feel that, you know, they want an ailing president, the Liberian people will vote for him. But the onus is on him to tell the Liberian people the truth. What kind of presidential aspirant leaves the country? Today is Friday.
Mm-hmm.
Today is the 21st of July. Early August, campaign starts. Who goes to party when you should be, campaigning?
Wedding invitation.
Who goes to wedding as a very serious, candidate for an election of a whole country? Who does that? Do you have to say that he went to a wedding or he's going to his you put granddaughter, then people will think that, okay, this man has to go.
So socially attractive.
Is it more important than the country? So the main reason, there is a reason behind your going. It's not about, about a granddaughter a wedding, because you have elections coming up. You should be campaigning. If you're going to campaign, fine. But you were there 2-3 times campaigning. How much did you get? And the same time that Costa said you need to go and do surgery, it's the same time you're going. And then you want to tell the Liberian people that it is black. Like the man said, woman pregnant, she said, hey, me, I'm pregnant. Until the better start to show now, then you're already,
I don't want people.
Sorry, we're not taking calls anymore.
Yes, I don't want people seeing us to be, sarcastic about the health status.
How are we?
That's the speculation of a few people, right? I don't want them seeing us to be sarcastic about. They're not
going to be happy if you're talking about the health status.
It's important. It's important because the health status of your president will help you save the country, or will help you put the country into a serious catastrophe. Now, what happens in a couple of months from now, in a couple of weeks, and a couple of days from now? What happens if we have Mr. Bwaka elected as our sitting president, and we come across these, unfortunate instances? What happens?
The people who are pushing this agenda don't really care about that. They don't care, because then they will have, it's about them. It's not about Liberia.
It should be about Liberia.
Yeah, it should be about Liberia, but it's not about Liberia. It's about them. They feel that if Ambassador Bwaka is elected president, then they too now are back in power after 12 years. It's about them. They don't care about what's happening to you.
They want to resuscitate the wasted wealth. You understand? The resuscitation of the wasted wealth. They want to get it.
So they find a way to make it look like the country is, it's not progressing. And everybody know around the world, they kind of, all economists are, the economies around the world are facing problems.
Exactly.
When Unity Party was in power for 12 years, things were okay. We were getting support, international support.
Which is for more.
And what did we get? and comparing that to President Weah's 6 years in power, when we will have to use monies that we ourselves as a country generate.
Titi, you were here, I think last night. Was it last night or 2 nights ago? We had a doctor here.
With JFK, Dr. Brown from
Dr.
JFK.
Brown was
and
just
see
here.
the transformation under President Weah
You
at
had
JFK.
12 years.
And you were there for 12 years.
You had the ICU.
No
The
ICU.
refurbished ICU.
No ICU for
You
12
understand?
years with all of the support.
With all the
you had.
budgetary
Yeah,
allotments.
everything. No ICU, no intensive care unit, no a place for the children.
Yeah.
Nothing.
The walls. The walls. You
JFK
saw
was
the
a
Victoria.
mess.
You saw the Victoria. So a special group of people thinks and they feel that this country can only be delivered and be developed when they are in state power. It
not
doesn't
about the
work that
country,
way.
it's about
That
them.
analogy doesn't. We don't agree with that. You
You
understand?
can force the Liberian people to agree with your analogy. My thing is, the fact of the matter is, if Ambassador Bouaka is not well, he's not well. If he's going
Simple.
for surgery,
Call us
we
spade a
wish
spade.
him well. Yeah, we wish him well. But to be very, very cunning with the
Euphemistic.
Liberian people is
Mhm.
that.
It's that.
It's
It's
that.
that. So Didi, that's how we go for the week.
Everybody loves Friday.
Friday is good, and you are blue, so we're good.
Absolutely. We see you when we see you. We talk to you when we talk to you next Monday, God willing. We will be here with another fascinating edition of Open Conversation. Like we always say, the conversation is open, but when you come to this conversation, come with the facts.
Come open.
Because if you don't, we are going to checkmate
Checkmate
you.
you.
Thank you.
Small Central
From the east to the west, north to the south, yeah, let's come together as one. They say united we stand, divided we fall. If we not celebrate, we do it for you. Voila, you forget it. You from Lower County, you from Maryland. Voila, you from Rewa Cess. I'm a bad way on your people. I walk on the fine way. Tabila, Kriwako. I love Liberia. Oh yeah, yeah. Free land and liberty, Liberia. Oh yeah, yeah. Oh yeah, yeah. I love Liberia. Oh yeah, yeah. They play for me and you, Liberia. Oh yeah, yeah. Oh yeah, yeah.
I was raised in the slum, but I chilled with my guns. Kept it on the low, but we fought for the bones. True son of the soil, I'm a prince in my own. Never gonna lie, me, I love LIB. Even though it's far, when we show we can face it. It's not a prophecy, I know that we can rise again. Holding my hand, I holding your own. United, we stand, divided, we fall. So that's what they say when I come with ball. When I chill on that side, and I get no bro. I got L to the O to the V and the E. If we fighting together, we can conquer this team. From the east to the west, then waving the flag from the north to the side. Yeah, that's joining the team. You go where you pella, you love my crowd. Who kill it? Who got John?
I love Liberia, oh yeah, yeah. Free land and liberty, Liberia, oh yeah, yeah. Oh yeah, yeah. I love Liberia, oh yeah, yeah. They play for me and you, Liberia, oh yeah, yeah. Oh yeah, yeah.
Mama was born, yeah. Papa was born, yeah. The whole house together, the happy boy, yeah. Nabalike na koya bake na papa bo. Nabalike na koya bake na papa bo. Nabali bola bo na papa bo. Nabali bola bo na papa bo. La biro waka poma o. La biro waka ma o. Balanda no waka ma o. I know I
From the east to the west, north to the south, yeah, let's come together as one. They say united we stand, divided we fall. If we not celebrate, we do it for you. Voila, you forget it. You from Lower County, you from Maryland. Voila, you from Rewa Cess. I'm a bad way on young people. I walk on the fine way.